problem staying motivated while others struggle with this day in and day out. There's no one size fits all. There's no easy answer. Sometimes people struggle with mental health. This episode is not designed to cover that. It is designed to cover those who simply find themselves motivated once they intentionally do so. I'm going to teach you today what the science is behind motivation, what it is, and what you can do to increase your chances of being motivated. I want to give credit today to one of my clients, Daniel Roberts of the Joyful Roberts Group out of Newburgh, Oregon, for teaching me these principles today. And I only felt the responsibility to now share it with a large audience. So thank you, Daniel, for this. Let's dive right in, guys. Excited about this, excited about what I have to share with you. We're at a time of year where maybe motivation is lacking a little bit. And for those of us that want to be in momentum in January, we recognize that although we want to celebrate the holidays and those people that matter the most to us, we also don't want to step into January with nothing going on. So we need to have some motivation to not only take care of our family and those things that mean more to us in our business, but also to put ourselves in momentum in January. We need to be able to muster up enough activity, enough motivation to actually make this end of year lead us into something really good coming into the new year. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in. Again, excited to be with you guys today. We're going to be talking about motivation for real estate agents. So when we talk about this, what I want to share with you is, first and foremost, before I get into that, let me remind anybody that attended my Upstream workshop this past week, there's really a choice to be made right now, which is, am I going to be a common agent and be down at the bottom of the stream, picking up scraps and whatever's left over? Or am I going to learn how to get upstream and really learn how to get at the top of the stream, the head of the stream, and get those opportunities to pull in more fish, if you will, out of the stream than the common agent will be able to do? So if that by chance is you and you don't want to be picking up scraps in 23, then this is a great opportunity for you to really get ahead and learn that. If you're interested in that, of how do I get upstream, Justin? How do I not become a common agent, compete where everyone else is competing? How do I really thrive in this business in 2023? I have the answers for you. I'd love to have a conversation. I would encourage you to simply reach out to me via social media, direct message me, say, Justin, upstream, teach me how, right? Just say something simple. We'll schedule a few minutes. I can walk you through how I'm helping agents. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive into kind of the science of motivation. First and foremost, I want to define for you what motivation really is, what it means, really at its most simple and basic level. It's desire, right? When we desire something, in most all cases, we get what we want. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, how do I know what I really want? Like, I say what I want, but I don't get it. There's a certain way to determine if you really have motivation, and it's really, what effort are you willing to put towards that? How willing are you to exert yourself, either mentally or physically, to get that thing that you want? Because you can say all day long, I want to achieve these goals. I want to have this business. I want to have this personal life. But if your actions don't reflect that, then the reality, you really don't want it. What you want to be is comfortable. And that's kind of a harsh reality, but we need to recognize that it's true, right? That we just can't fake it. We really get what we desire, and desire is what we're willing to sacrifice for. So with that being said, here is the formula. Okay. If you were to take motivation and dissect it, okay, here is a way for you to look at this. Point number one is that you have to believe that if you put forward the work, you're going to get it. It gets very demotivating if you feel like, I'm going to do the work, but I'm not going to get results. Like, there's a few things that are more demotivating than that. And there are a few things that are more motivating than realizing, like, if I do these things, I'm going to get this result. Now, here's the tricky part in times like right now. If you're watching this live or very near time I'm recording this, you recognize that there's some seasonality, right? A lot of people are kind of checked out here for a few weeks. So the activities that you're doing might not have immediate result. We're also in a market shift, which means that also there's not the immediacy of results that you have to be able to see around the corner. Follow the process, not the outcome. Because if you fall in love with the outcome, you're going to be disappointed because it might not come as quick as you want it to. However, with that being the case, you do need to recognize that if I do these things, I believe I'll get a result. And where most agents really struggle, is that they don't have that true expectancy, that true belief that if they do the thing, they'll get the result. Now, taking that expectancy, if you were to multiply it by value, in other words, how important is it to you? Do you really want this thing? If you really do want this thing, coupled with your ability to believe that you can, right? If you were to take these two things here and say, let's make these go up, expectancy up and value up, right? I want this thing really badly. It's very important to me, very valuable to me. And I do believe that if I do the work, I'm going to get the thing. We end up actually putting forward more effort. Remember, motivation is simply how bad we want something, how much we're willing to sacrifice to get that thing, right? What our desire is to actually get it. That's what motivation is. So these two components, increasing them, our belief that it will work and the kind of deep inner feeling that that's what I really want. Okay. Those things, increasing those is good. Okay. Now, on the other side, there's a couple of things that we need to decrease. Number one is impulsivity. We have a tendency as humans to want things now. As I mentioned, there's a little bit of a delayed reaction when it comes to putting forth effort and getting in most things that matter, right? If they didn't, everybody would be doing it. You get set apart as different and better and actually well paid, well compensated when you can, again, look around the corner where other people can't see. They're not willing to do work for very long, where they don't see immediate results. It's like people who farm who say, look, I planted that like a week ago and I don't see any fruit yet. I don't see any harvest yet. Obviously the farmer knows that that's not how it works. We need to have a similar recognition that there's a period of sowing and then a period of reaping, right? We reap what we sow, but there's a space between those two. So the expectancy goes up, value goes up, this impulsivity, this desire to have like results right now needs to go down. The more that we can decrease our dependency on the impulsivity and our desire to be like, well, that's not working, I'm going to go do this. In other words, my diet isn't working, therefore I'm going to keep eating sweets because I don't think this thing works for me. Like I need results faster. The more we can, again, lessen our dependency on that need for being in a microwave society where it's like, I want results now. I want Amazon not just delivered in 2 days, but in 2 hours. The more that we can kind of release ourselves from that and just, again, fall in love with the process, the higher our motivation will be, okay? Because keep in mind, expectancy and value are divided by these two things. So again, we want these upper things to go higher, and we want these things on the bottom part of the equation to go down. So delay, right? How long is it going to take me to get it? Now, we can't always control that, right? That's part of our topic today of like the fact that there is a delayed response, especially in a shifting market, especially during a holiday season. So we have to celebrate small wins. For those of you that work directly with me, you recognize we've put in place a dashboard, and this dashboard gives you the ability to make check marks and get scores and little green arrows and things that kind of celebrate the intermediate wins. You get to celebrate where you're at and how you're doing at the lead measures. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, right? There are lead measures, right? And then there are lag measures. This would be the outcome or output, whereas this would be the input. When we can fall in love and create wins around the input, right? Around this right here, we put ourselves in a spot where we can be highly motivated. We can truly be motivated about the things that we're working on. So again, if I were to recap this, your motivation as a real estate agent right now, right? I'm recording this on December 20th. If you can stay motivated, again, I'm not saying neglect family, neglect things that matter more, but you and I both know that there are hours where you're not needed. It could be early in the morning where you can actually either keep momentum going, or you can entirely say, I'm going to get momentum going. I'm going to be reaching out to a lot of people, setting appointments for January. It's a great way to be in momentum. How do I have motivation for that? Is the formula, right? This is it right here. Is believing, number one, that it will happen if you do the work, believing that that's important to you, that you want those results, decreasing the impulsivity that I have to have results now, and yet celebrating the small wins so you have some sort of something to celebrate now. Again, I want to just encourage anybody that's listening to this. If you've paid the price to have the business of your dreams right now and everything's great, go enjoy the holidays, right? Go enjoy the holidays. Everything will be here when you get back. But if you're in a spot where like, look, I had big goals this year and I was off, market related, or maybe it was me related, whatever it was, if you have not, even if you paid the price, but you aren't reaping the harvest that you otherwise would want, stay motivated. Use this formula. Reach out to me if I can help. Right? Would love to spend a few minutes with you. If you're interested in getting unstuck in your real estate business, that's something that I do for people that I work directly with. And I'm happy to do it with you regardless of where you're at. The best way to do that is thinkbiggerre.com// 10 minutes. And we'll just schedule a few minutes and I'll help you get unstuck. Hopefully that's helpful, folks. Again, my final request of everybody listening here today is go be motivated and go think bigger. Thanks for